You said there is a lack of understanding by people of other backgrounds of the African American church. What are some of those misunderstandings, and how would you purport to fix them, particularly when some of your comments are found to be offensive by white churches?
Carter G. Woodson, about 80 years ago, wrote a book entitled The Miseducation. I would try to fix it starting at the educational level in the grammar schools, as Dr. Asa Hilliard did in his infusion curriculum, starting at the grammar schools to tell our children this story and to tell our children the true story. That's how I go about fixing it, because until you know the true story, then you're reacting to my words and not to the truth.
Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but through me." Do you believe this, and do you think Islam is a way to salvation?
Jesus also said, "Other sheep have I who are not of this fold."
Do you think people of other races would feel welcome at your church?
Yes. We have members of other races in our church. We have Hispanics, we have Caribbean, we have South Americans, we have whites. The conference minister, please understand, United Church of Christ is a predominantly white denomination. Again, some of you do not know the United Church of Christ, just found out about liberation theology, just found out about the United Church of Christ. The conference minister, Dr. Jane Fizzler Hoffman, a white woman, and her husband not only are members of the congregation, but on her last Sunday before taking the assignment as the interim conference minister of the Southern California Conference of the United Church of Christ, a white woman stood in our pulpit and said, "I am unashamedly African."
You first gained media attention, significant media attention for your sermon several weeks ago. Why did you wait so long before giving the public your side of the soundbite story?
As I said to Bill Moyers, and he also edited this one out, because of my mother's advice to me. My mother's advice was being seen all over the corporate media channels. And it's a paraphrase of the book of Proverbs, where it is better to be quiet and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. The media was making a fool out of itself because it knew nothing about our tradition. And so I decided to let them make a fool as long as they wanted to, and then take the advice of Paul Lawrence Dunbar and lies, lies, bless the Lord. Don't you know the days abroad? Don't make me come across this room. I had to come across the room because they start understand when you're talking about my mama once again and talking about my faith tradition once again, how long do you let somebody talk about your faith tradition before you speak up and say something in defense of, this is not an attack on Jeremiah Wright. Once again, let me say it again. This is an attack on the black church. And I cannot, as a minister of the gospel, allow the significant part of our history, most African Americans and most European Americans, most Hispanic Americans have the names I called in my presentation I've never heard of because they don't know anything at all about our tradition. And to lift up those, they would have died in vain had I just kept quiet longer and longer and longer and longer. As I said, this is an attack on the black church. This is not about Obama, McCain, Hillary, Bill, Chelsea. This is about the black church. This is about Barbara Jordan. This is about Fannie Lou Hamer. This is about my grandmama.
Do you think it is God's will that Senator Obama be president?
I said I would offer myself for candidacy for vice president. I have not offered myself for candidacy of God. I can't presume to know what God would want. In my tradition, however, what everybody has been saying to me as it pertains to the candidacy is, what God has for you is for you. If God intends for Mr. Obama to be the president, then no white racist, no political pundit, no speech, nothing can get in the way, because God will do what God wants to do.
Okay, we are almost out of time, but before asking the last question, we have a couple of matters to take care of.
First, look at that. The official Centennial mug to top things off.
She said there's one more question. What a list of questions we just heard.
Incendiary.
And the answers.
And I don't think any of us expected it to get quite this heated.
Reverend Wright's an angry 75-year-old black man. All 75-year-old black men are angry. Is that funny? Is that true? Is it unfortunate? What do you think?
I think it's just like the media. I'm not 75.